There's just something really magical about wandering all these groves alone. You know, being so in connection with nature and listening to the birds overhead and seeing those little pockets of golden light as it hits a leaf or a flower. Being so in the moment, it really is just so magical. And this is one of the few places in the world that I love to come alone to. I love a feeling of wholesomeness, of seeing the beauty in simplicity. It's always the small, simple things that bring an enduring sense of gratitude and appreciation. The warmth from the sun, the freshness of the air, having access to books and music and inspiration. I've always felt such a resonant connection with the Oscar Wilde quote, "With freedom, books, flowers, and the moon, who could not be happy?" And it's so true. This feeling of being connected with life is what I feel every time I'm in nature. Watching the wind in the leaves, the light on the bark. And one of my favorite places to visit in France is Versailles. Hey there, it's me, Helena. I hope you're having the most magical day. I wanted to share the simple joys of Versailles with you today. This is a place I visit once a year whenever I visit Paris. And it's one of those special places in the world where no matter how many times you go, it never gets old. There's always something new to explore, something new to marvel at. To be honest, I'm not one for perfectly manicured lawns and gardens, but Versailles is the one exception. Just look how beautiful this is. September is the best month to visit France because all of the tourists and summer crowds all leave come September 1st, and the weather is just perfect here in France. So I just waited in line 20 minutes to ride the train to take it to I don't know how to pronounce it. Marie Antoinette's area, so I can get some Cafe Angelina. And I waited in line 20 minutes, and then you're supposed to buy a ticket somewhere else, way over there on the other side of the estate. And so I'm just taking this as a sign from the universe to walk, because it would have taken me 20 minutes to walk to Marie Antoinette's estate. So let's just save the money and walk and get some steps in. Let's do that. I think the most fun way to travel is when you allow spontaneity and your intuition to guide you to each new place, to guide each new step along the way. Every time I really plan my travels, things always go wrong. I'm always disappointed. Things don't work out as expected. But when I allow spontaneity to guide me, I find life is just so much more magical, which is exactly what happened here. I had plans to go to another cafe, and I ended up flowing over to this cute little restaurant called La Flottille, and they had the best pizza. Primavera with tomato mozzarella salad, cherry tomatoes, yum, and Parmesan cheese. I don't know what it is about Paris, but there's something about the air here that always inspires me to write and create and think of new ideas and just be inspired by life and the simple things that are all around me. I ended up checking in with my husband Alex, who is currently setting up our house in Biarritz, which is where we're going to be living for the next year. He found the cutest apartment by the ocean, and I'm so excited to share it with you and to give you a little tour of our new home. Wow, this looks so good. I am so impressed.
That sauce is excellent. With the cherry tomatoes adding that sweetness, nice Parmesan flakes on top, and the rich mozzarella cheese. This is good pizza. Versailles. Très bien. Très bien.
And so we begin the very peaceful walk under the shady trees to Marie Antoinette's estate. I wore my little Miss Patina necklace in honor of Marie Antoinette today. Thought it would match. But yeah, let's get on with our tour to Marie Antoinette's estate. I'm so excited to take you. My favorite part of Versailles, the Queen's Hamlet in Petit Trianon. There is this strong sense of fantasy that permeates the air while visiting. It's an idyllic place to wander, explore, and get lost in the birdsong, the golden hour light, the maze of groves. In 1774, King Louis XVI gave this space to his wife, Marie Antoinette, and she turned it into her private refuge, a retreat with a grotto, waterfall, 10 small buildings with gardens, a private theater, 120 different types of plants, and 2 orchards containing fruit trees. It was designed by Hubert Robert, who was inspired by the half-timbered houses of Normandy. And this area, I think, is the most beautiful and most charming area of Versailles because it's a lot smaller and it's more quaint and less extravagant than the chateau area. All right, we are here at my favorite part of Chateau Versailles, the Queen's Hamlet, which was built between 1783 and 1786. However touristy it may be, there's just something so magical about the Queen's Hamlet and Petit Trianon here at Versailles. It feels like a fairy tale village, and it feels so safe and so secure and so protected and manicured, and perfectly manicured as the French do with their beautiful parks, and I love it so much. I mean, wouldn't you just see this and think of Snow White or think of Briar Rose and Sleeping Beauty? I mean, maybe I'm just such a Disney nerd. I see Disney and everything, but I just think this is just like a fairy tale. Something that I just thought about here while I'm in the Queen's Hamlet is just how romanticized this area is, and how when we look back at, Marie Antoinette, or we look back at history, a lot of times people romanticize things and people glamorize and romanticize the past and make it seem like it was better than it actually was. When the truth is, historically, with the French Revolution and like what was going on for like most people in France at that time, most people were really suffering and like were hungry and didn't have great quality of life. So we have to admit, the elephant in the room of how, life was not easy or nice for most people, like common people like you and I, back then in the day. But there is something very romantic about being here at the Queen's Hamlet and where Marie Antoinette used to spend her time. And I get a lot of comments on YouTube about how I over-romanticize life.
or I glamorize life, or I see life through rose-colored glasses. And I'm just going to say this. Hell yes, I am going to romanticize my life. Fuck yes, am I going to see life through this lens of beauty and simple joys. But honestly, here's a little secret. Most people who see beauty in the mundane, most people who notice the simple joys, who romanticize life, if that's what you call it, they're honestly happier than people who don't. Most people who are really internally joyful and happy within are people who notice the beauty in their lives, who are grateful for the small things that they have in life, and they're actively expressing their appreciation and their enthusiasm for life, and they're not afraid to share their excitement or to get excited, you know, in a very loud way by small things. Like, those are honestly the happiest people. And so I just want to encourage you that if you feel weird about getting excited about things, or expressing your enthusiasm in a very public way, or just romanticizing the small things like flowers, like a lone wildflower, or, you know, the beautiful architecture, or just romanticizing fairy tales and Disney stories and Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and Marie Antoinette, go ahead and do it. And don't be afraid if people think that you're over romanticizing life, because honestly, those people probably aren't that happy, and they probably are jealous that you're able to seek joy and feel joy about the small things in life. So carry on with your fabulous self and keep romanticizing life, because I'm telling you, when you romanticize life, you see more beauty and you feel more joy and appreciation for this one singular existence and how special it is to be here on Earth.
I will forever romanticize my life. I will forever sing to the birds, whisper to the moon, dream aloud to the stars. I will forever live authentically true to my overly saccharine self, and I will forever celebrate this existence. What a joy, what a dream it is to be here. And I never take a single day for granted. And neither should you. A lot of society, a lot of people view those who get excited about the small stuff, get excited about the simple things that bring them joy, as naive, as a bit stupid, a bit dumb. But those who are able to live true to themselves, who can stay authentic to their true essence, their true nature, are actually the most brave of them all. And I hope that any one of my videos can encourage one of you out there to stay true to yourself, to honor who you really are deep down, by you doing what brings you joy and sharing your enthusiasm with others. You are lighting the world up just by being yourself, and that is priceless.
Oh there, I love Jeffy so. Yes.
Do you want it? Oh yeah, you like it. Cool. See this plant right here? This is stinging nettle. And I remember once I tried to give a pig here some of this. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. It was right when I first moved to France, and my finger swelled up and it hurt for a full 24 hours. Don't touch this unless you have gloves on. There's nothing cuter than a pig wagging its tail. Oh my goodness. So sweet.
Oh yes. You know, your quack is my ringtone.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh yes. Oh honey. Oh, look at that tail. Look at that tail. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, what a cutie. Oh, pig's got the zoomies. Look at that. He's just running all over the place. Oh my gosh, so cute. if you're watching my channel, you like the wholesome content. Because I like wholesome content and I make wholesome content, and there's nothing more wholesome than bunnies. And this cute little French cottage with roosters and chickens and little baby lambs running all over the place. Just wholesome. Wholesome goodness. It's so comforting. Also, let me know down below in the comments, who are your favorite YouTubers that make really wholesome content? One of my favorite YouTubers, she doesn't make a lot of videos, but when she does, oh my gosh, they take my breath away. Beth Stays. She's one of my favorite YouTubers. I'm looking to expand and find some more expanders in my life. People that I'm inspired by, that make me excited to make YouTube videos. Because I don't know, for me, one of the best ways to motivate me when I'm in a YouTube funk or when I'm in a rut and I don't feel like making YouTube videos is watching other creators that I'm inspired by. Either by their personality or just like them sharing their life and vlogging. It makes me feel so motivated and inspired. So let me know who your favorites are. I'm really curious to know. Note about Versailles. It is easy to get lost around here. I think this is the way out. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Look how magical this is. Oh, the way the light is hitting the tops of those leaves and it just kind of hangs on the side. So pretty.
I always like to pay a little visit to Marie Antoinette's house, the little house that she has here in Petit Trianon, and look at her portrait and just admire the ornate ceilings and the crown moldings. Honestly, the crown moldings are like the most gorgeous thing for me in the entire place. It's just so extravagant and ornate, as the French way is. And yeah, it was really, really beautiful to just look at all this. And I always like to stop in. It's not my favorite. I love the gardens a lot more, but it's always cool to kind of see. The question I always have about the beds back in the day was, how were these long enough for their entire bodies? Interesting.
I met God, and her name is Angelina. The hot cocoa at Cafe Angelina is my favorite. It's a bit pricey here. Angelina is a bit overpriced, and it's very touristy. But it is so worth the cost, I think. Every time I come to Cafe Angelina, I just feel so comforted. The eclairs are so divine and so rich. The hot chocolate's so delicious and thick. If you like heavy, dark chocolate, hot chocolate, this is just so good. I always like to stop at Cafe Angelina and get a little veggie bowl to go because I love to picnic on the grass at the end of the day, like at sunset when the light is starting to go down. But for now, I'm just gonna enjoy my hot cocoa and my delicious eclair. So good! Found a Nice patch of grass, and oh, it just started. First water show of the day, and there's a rainbow. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And there's rainbows everywhere. Let me show you.
I tend to always come to Versailles solo, not because I don't like coming with company. I've been with Alex a few times here to the gardens, but there's just something really magical about wandering all these groves alone. You know, being so in connection with nature and listening to the birds overhead and seeing those little pockets of golden light as it hits a leaf or a flower, and then bringing my camera and photographing it and really kind of being in this creative flow state of being with nature and creating, and just the classical music. I was listening to Pride and Prejudice, the soundtrack on Spotify, and just kind of being so in the moment. It really is just so magical, and this is one of the few places in the world that like I love to come alone to, is Versailles, specifically the gardens, because there's just such a magical connection here. I really love it. I love, love, love the Versailles Gardens so much. There's just something wonderful about just exploring and getting lost and not having a map, and just bringing your camera and allowing the winds to take you, allowing the light to guide you to wherever you're meant to explore next. Home is where the seagulls are. Oh, I just love you. You are so pretty. All right, well that concludes today's vlog. I am having my salad bowl that I picked up earlier today. Closing is about to take place in like 30 minutes. I've made some other vlogs in the past. If you guys like more casual vlog content, I have a second channel called Lena's Light where I vlogged my time going to Disneyland alone, going to Bath and England and London, and yeah, just sharing my favorite places in the world and taking you along on the adventure. So I'll include a link with some of my favorite videos down below in the description box. But yeah, if you like this video, please be sure to let me know down below in the comments if you'd like to see more of this kind of video like format where I'm vlogging and taking you guys on the adventure with me rather than more of a curated film style video. This is kind of more raw, more personal, and I really enjoy making them. I hope you have a beautiful, magical day, and I'll see you next time here on the channel. Bye!
I've made a habit of eating arugula every day for, gosh, maybe a couple years now. Like it's a part of my daily like routine is I eat a fistful of arugula every day. I now have withdrawals. If I don't have arugula for 2 days or more, my body like seriously craves it. It's just so crunchy and good.
Il faut que tu refasses ta faute. Moi je m'en fous, hein,